Gainz Nation, what is going on, baby? Episode 55 in the house. Let's go. Roman's finally here with some nice pair of headphones. Both of us have some facial hair growing out. It is too damn cold in the Midwest. And we are back, baby. I'm a little tanner than before. Left the States for a little bit. Had to do some business outside of the US of A. But hey, we're back. I love my country, and it's the best country in the world. So,
Yep.
what do we talk about today, Roman? What are we talking about?
We're talking about training and eating on that vacay, something that none of us know anything about during the COVID times.
Dang. Well, I guess I can't. I guess I'm a little spoiled on that, huh?
Yeah, hopefully people are able to get away.
But no,
yeah.
But no, I wanted to talk about this today because, I mean, you mentioned it a little bit. I bet you, I don't even know if you realize this, but I wanted to even talk about like when you go back home and like, you know, you're probably not buying as much groceries, like you're staying with your mom and eating like what they're eating, your brother and your mom, and then like compare to back home because you went home during this time as well. And typically like, and I just came back from Mexico for a whole week. So like, I think this is like something that's great. It's pretty fresh in our minds. And plus you did it for like almost a month. You're about to do it for like another month. So
Yeah.
like, this is something great. Even if you're not on vacation, maybe you're like going, let's just say vacation or like going back home for a while, and you're not in your normal routine. You're like in someone else's routine, let's just say, if that makes sense. Not to say like
Yeah.
Roman was like had to do everything that his family was doing, but it's a lot different than when you're living on your own and you can control everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also, did we even spill the big news here yet?
I don't know if we have yet.
Maybe we'll save that for the end. So if you guys don't listen to this podcast, if you want to hear the big news, just skip to the end. But also, don't skip to the end. Watch this whole thing, and at the end, we'll share some news for you guys at the end. But yeah, man, Roman, kick us off. Like, typical scenario, like so like let's do like a case study of yourself like going back home, and then maybe we'll talk about like vacation with me. Like, kind of go through like what's it like when like someone like you that doesn't live in Chicago goes back home in Mass, and then like like go through what you kind of realize, what you do, as well as like tell people like what kind of steps you take to stay fit while training and eating, because like I think this is very important, because I don't think you and I ever stop training or eating like we do even though we're not at home. So run through some things, baby.
So I'm probably a little different than like the average person, because like I love working out. So I will like work out when I'm on vacation, type situation. I mean, there've definitely been times where I've like told myself like I could use this time off to like, recover or whatnot. But when I was home back in August, I was trying to diet down a little bit just to see like how lean I could get. And then I was just interested to see like what like the prior 2 years of like massing had like essentially got me. So I did like a little, I think it was like an 8 or 12 week cut. But I was still working out most days of the week. I would say like 5 to 6 days a week I was still working out. So we have like a little home gym at my brother's and my mother's house. So we've got like pretty much just like this steel pipe, which it serves as a barbell, but it's like totally not a barbell. So I would use that for like dumbbell rows. I would do pull-ups on the like the support beams in the basement.
In the basement.
So, yeah, so that's like the back work.
It's so funny that you say that, because when we were doing the home workouts and I started doing that a little bit, but like I don't know, it's just so funny to hear that. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's dude, like it tests your grip strength, because like you have a false grip, because like I don't have giant hands, so I can't like wrap my hands around, like actually grab anything. So you're like just cupping onto the like the wood boards like this and like doing your pull-ups. So it's a completely different feel. So it's like an interesting stimulus for the back. We have some dumbbells, so I can do a lot of dumbbell stuff. I did do squats, but I think the heaviest squats I worked up to was like 220 pounds. So it wasn't anything crazy. And I would do like different things. Like I would do like heel elevated squats, and I would just do like 135 pounds and just crank out like a set of 20 or something like that. And just like really sit nice and deep into them. Bench was like normal. I didn't really do deadlifts. I haven't performed a lot of deadlifts, just like in general, since quarantine. I sprinkle in like here and there, but it hasn't been something that like I've really wanted to focus on all that much. So I've just like I just like don't do them. Like I will do RDLs from time to time, but in my gym currently, I've found using the seated leg extension gives me a really good hamstring stimulus, and I don't get like all the fatigue from RDLs. So I've just been going with that, as well as so the seated as well as the lying down ham curl. Yeah, so actually when I was on vacation, it was like a lot of my lifting was like the same that I do in a gym, just because it's not like a great setup, but they do have some like dumbbells and like a decent amount of weight. Like I could work up to like, I probably wouldn't do any more than 220 pounds on that bar, to be honest with you, just because I wouldn't trust it. It does bend. It's like not too bad.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah,
I would want to snap.
you tell me that you were just so scared it's going to snap right on your back or on your freaking chest.
Yeah, so I hit a double with like bench at like 220, and then like, whatever, 5, 10, 8 reps on squat. And I was like, I don't know how comfortable I feel with this weight on. And like also we have a combination of the cement weights as well as like the Gold Gym like steel weights. So like it just looks like super doofy with like how like much it changes. But like I don't care. It's weight is weight. And I'd have to take a band that we have, like the P90X bands, and tie it around the weight and like cross over itself like this. So that I could tie the weight to the barbell itself. Otherwise, all the weight would just like slide off, and I would do one of these.
Do you not have clips for that bar?
Not for I do, but they're like, again, they're like these like 5-pound like clips. They're like this wide, and then they're like this long, and they've got like a little like metal screw essentially that you like screw it in, and the screw compresses against the barbell, and that's what holds the weight there. But the cement weight set, they're like so thick, and they're like 15.8 pounds. They're like such weird intervals that you get to the end of the barbell at like 220 pounds. Like that's as much as I can put on it. I can't put any more on it. And then the last like cement like weight is hanging off the side. So that's why I have to do that like whole cable thing, because there's no room to put that like that big ass clip, which is like 4 or 5 inches long, on the end of the barbell. So you just get creative with shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? So besides like training and stuff, like you said, you typically do the normal things. You might probably add in a little bit more reps instead of like having more intensity, because typically, if you can't go up past 220, if you're a guy that benches pretty close to that or squats that or squats more than that, I should say, then you want to add more reps to it. Just kind of add in and just total of volume and see where you're at, and maybe you just add a couple reps. So with eating now, Roman, like going back home, like I said, you're with your brother and your mother, and it's a lot more different than you just being at home with your partner Laura back at home. You definitely want to eat what foods they're eating. So what's typical, like what was typical things that you were eating less or more of when you're back at home, as well as like did it really hinder training? Did it really hinder like performance at all? Like what kind of talk us through like the nutrition piece of that real quick before we go into the big other part.
it's definitely challenging being in a different environment, especially because my family mostly eats vegetarian. So I'll usually like adopt that like lifestyle. Like every once in a while, I might pick up like some hamburger or something like that, some chicken. But I try to like eat like similar foods that they eat, just in like maybe different portions, um, to like fit like whatever my goal is. I'm not really tracking anything now, so everything is like very intuitive, which explains the weight spike, but it's good because it's what I'm working towards.
Yeah,
Um,
what are you weighing right now?
like between 160 and 161 each morning. Big
Okay, okay.
boy, let's get it. So I do a lot. I take in a lot of dairy. So just for like listeners, I try to stay on like the higher end of like the 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal. That's not to say that like I always do that. Um, but with vegetarian protein sources in general, they can typically be like what is like deemed as like lower quality protein sources. There's nothing wrong with them. It just might be slightly lower in leucine, which leucine is an essential amino acid for muscle growth. So I don't like obsess over this at all. Like I don't say like, oh, for for if I'm gonna have like tofu, like for every 4 grams of, or rather, for every like 4 ounces of tofu, it's 2 grams of leucine. Like I don't. I just say like, okay, it's gonna be a vegetarian source. Like I'll make sure I like throw a little bit extra on, and I'll have like a tall glass of milk with it. So whey protein is typically considered like one of the higher, or more like leucine dense protein sources, or like amino sources. So by like drinking milk, I'll do like a very tall glass of milk. Um, I was dieting and I think it was whole milk, so I wouldn't recommend it. I'd probably recommend like skim milk, but like I wasn't training for a show. I was just doing it for myself. I wanted to see like how much weight I could lose in a short period of time. I wasn't going crazy with it. I was restricting calories, so like intentionally I was not doing like most desserts, or if I did, I'd have like a bite or two. Um, I would like use different like portion control means. So I'd keep like the meal sizes down relatively. Try to keep the protein high, but I think that was one thing that like I definitely suffered on, because like I pretty much just like stopped tracking when I was home. I was like, I'm just like so active with my family. Like I know I'll keep on like going. So I'd weigh scale like every couple of days. I became pretty lax with it. But it was funny because like when I came back home, or to Chicago afterwards, my weight still trended down like perfectly. So all my different tips, tools, tricks of the trade did end up working. So they have a treadmill, so that would help. I like to keep my step count above like 10,000 a day. So that was just like a good goal for me. And then whenever we were going to have like a vegetarian protein source, I would try to couple it with like a dairy source, such as like cheese or milk, and try and make sure that I was keeping my protein as high as possible to keep myself satiated. But apparently I'm pretty good at suffering through like being hungry.
Yeah, until you start messaging me like, gosh, I can't wait to stop dieting.
Yeah. I was ready to get them lemon poppy seed muffins in me again, man.
Roman goes through a phase where he eats about 100 lemon poppy seed muffins within like a month.
It's insane. I've actually probably had like 20 in the past week. Like no lie.
How big are they again? They're about like,
We did two different sizes. So we did one like a little bigger than that, and then like one like big, like half the size of your face big.
that's kind of messed up. Is my face kind of big or?
No, I mean I'd say it's like pretty like average size, but that's a pretty big muffin is what I'm saying.
Now it seems like you're calling me a muffin top. So I don't know I don't know what's going on here, Roman, but I don't
Depends
like
on your
it.
orientation in space.
Because I'm gaining a little weight, I have a little fat coming out of my pants. What's going on here, Roman?
No, absolutely not.
Can't hate,
What about
appreciate.
um, what about you, buddy? You were in Mexico recently. What kind of like workout regimen did you and Sam have? Did you like work out at all? Did you not want to work out? What was your diet look like?
Yeah, this is probably the first time you're hearing it too, because I don't think we really sat down and like talked about it too much.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, actually, guys, this is probably like probably the longest I think I've ever been away from home because like I'm not, I'm not in Roman's situation right now. Um, but like he was able to stay at a place for like a whole month. Didn't maybe he helped out, but like didn't have to like pay for like hotels for like a whole month. But like I think that is the longest time I've actually been away from home was 7 like straight days, like literally all day, 7 days, like um but pretty much we went to Mexico. And so this vacation was a little bit different. Obviously, it was like an overdue honeymoon, so like I wasn't like going all out like when it came to like training and nutrition. But like I could go ahead and like tell you what I did and then like what I would recommend honestly for like vacations. um you know because the reason why we vacation is to kind of like plug out, plug away, and just like get away from like kind of our normal schedules, kind of get a refresher on our batteries. But like during like Mexico, I didn't bring my scale. I do weigh my stuff. I have a scale at home, but like obviously I didn't bring a scale to Mexico. I pretty much kind of eyeballed everything. Pretty much the whole week, I like try to track my protein, not so much my carbs and fats, because we went to an all-inclusive resort. So like there was like 4 restaurants on the resort area itself, as well as 24-hour room service. So like it was pretty nice. They had a lot of like in a lot of the times during the honeymoon, like we did have desserts here and there, but like I think it's because we like as a society we have desserts so much out of the blue. Like Sam and I would only like share a dessert at dinner. Like that was like the furthest we ate sweets during like our trip in Mexico. Pretty much like through vacations. Um, Honestly, I think it might be a good thing too, especially when you're going out of country. I think it's always great. Maybe it might not work fully, but like for us, what we did since we had like free food day in day out, we pretty much like loaded up on like a bunch of fruits and vegetables like the whole time. We wanted to keep like micronutrients like ahead of the game. Like in the morning when we had our coffee, we had like a banana, an apple. Like they had like these mixed fruit cups that had like papaya, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew sometimes, and like pineapple. So like pretty much like when we had the opportunities to eat like whole foods, like we did, like we try to get it all in every day. But like the other stuff is like you want to try authentic food. So we a lot of Mexican food though is like a lot of like carbohydrates and like high proteins, and sometimes it's like fatty food. So like honestly, I ate like so many tacos. So like sometimes it was like lean meats and just tacos and like tortillas. So it's like not too like bad out of the ordinary stuff, because like I go ham on tacos when we're back at home. Our resort did have a gym. It was open 24 hours. Sam and I did work out, by the way, guys. Not your typical honeymoon, but I mean, we still had fun, we still relaxed, and we still got to do what we had to do. But like we just went in the gym because we don't go to the gym even here. Like we went in the gym. They actually had a pretty nice gym. They had a row of dumbbells that went up to 50s. They had some machines. They had like actual legit cable row machines, cable pull down machines. They had like a leg extension, leg curl. They had treadmills, a bike, elliptical. So like when we didn't have too much to do like for the day, like say if we were just hanging out at the resort and just hanging out by the ocean, we did it after our coffee or after our breakfast, and then we relaxed the whole day. See, the thing is for me too with vacations, and I think a lot of people can like this, they could probably utilize this or at least like stand by it with vacation, especially like if you're not going to be moving around. Like what I would suggest is like maybe get up before everyone does, or like maybe get up at before like the sun comes out or whatever, and then just like work out, do a walk, do a run, because there's people running on the beach the whole time too. I'm not a big runner. I'd rather walk instead of run, but but like like we're like the type of couple that like gets it in early before like later, because like we get our active, we get our steps, we get our calories, we do the workout, and then we're just like relaxing the rest of the day. So I mean, besides that, like what I would suggest when it comes to like standard vacations, I mean, we're hikers, so like when we go on other vacations, we pretty much find like a couple hikes during our trip, and then we'll lift. A couple things too, maybe suggestions is like maybe get a hotel that has an actual gym first off. During these times, make sure the gym's open, because it could be crazy when it comes to a different state or country you're in. Um, or if you have insurance, I think Roman and I mentioned it probably once or twice before. Like if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, maybe sign up for the fitness program, where you just type in Blue Cross Blue Shield fitness program on Google, and you'll be able to sign up for it. And that fitness program, you pay like, I think they have 3 different types of memberships now, but you pay for it, and then like you could go on the gym search, type in a zip code, and then wherever you're traveling to, type in that zip code, and it'll tell you all the affiliated gyms that's on there. You can go in for free. So when you travel, like let's say if you're in a prep for bodybuilding, prep for powerlifting, prep for Olympic lifting, and you need to get that lift in no matter what time it is, like maybe you guys call it in, like, or maybe you have early nights instead of early mornings. Like maybe your whole family or just you and your partner like call it an early night, and you just work out at night, and you just find a gym that's maybe 5-10 minutes away. Then you drive to that gym, you walk to that gym, or early in the morning, you just go to the gym with that fitness pass, and then you'll be able to work out for free. Obviously, every gym has its own process, but that's like one of the other suggestions I like strongly, confidently have done in my vacation routine. So try to find a gym that is affiliated with that Blue Cross Blue Shield, as well as, like I said in the beginning, like try to eat whole foods throughout the whole like trip. Try not to like enjoy the food you're in, what state you're in, what country you're in, but like try to keep the like processed foods to a minimum, because like you can get that anywhere. Like I for me, like I'm a fat boy at heart. I like to snack on those sweet things, but like literally you can get that anywhere. Like any sweet dessert's gonna taste good anywhere you go. Maybe just share it with your partner, do that. But yeah, that's like some of the things, like work out early or late, find a gym nearby, eat whole foods, and don't go crazy. Like that was like probably the sum up version of what I just said.
Yeah, it might be smart too, like depending on how like nervous or anxious you are about this, like looking to see if they have like a boil water advisory. Some places you go, like they might not have the most sanitary water or potable water. So always good to look into those kind of things. Yeah, I've heard in particular, I've never been, but I've heard in particular people like complain a lot about like quote unquote Montezuma's revenge, which is like a stomach bug that you get. Like it's essentially like food poisoning from like drinking the water in Mexico, just because like the bacteria cultures are like significantly different than what they are in like most other parts of like the US. So it's like kind of like a shock to the system, and people feel like very sicky from that.
Yeah, in Europe too. But yeah, it was and as I say, like be on the look. I'm glad you said that, because I didn't even realize that. But yeah, like we pretty much brushed our teeth with like a bottle of water. Like I didn't even use the tap water to water my toothbrush. Like I was like, I don't want to risk it. I know like you don't swallow water when you brush your teeth, but I was like, don't want to risk it. But like at the resort, it was all like we drank out of bottled water pretty much the whole time. So that's like a good point. Like make sure you check where you're going to as well with the boil water content. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the term was.
I think they call it like a boil water advisory or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It might be called something different, but you could always ask too, people like at the resort or where you're going, or just do a quick Google search. The power of Google. But I would also say like definitely like try like new foods, and like there's like some cool places like a lot of like fitness professionals have gone to that like Tulum jungle gym. Like that's super cool, man.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about like by Cancun, right?
Yeah,
Charles Bank or whatever his name, Charleston
yeah,
Banks, whatever his name
yeah.
is.
I think so.
Yeah, he went to that, and I tried popping it up. It was on the other side of Mexico.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
I was on like the west coast part, and he was
Okay.
like all the way on the east coast. So I was like,
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
I was like, dude, I want to go there though. That was fun.
Yeah. I'd say like try new foods and like when you're eating, like try to eat slow, like really savor like the experience because like eating on vacation should be like part of the experience. And that'll help you also so that you like don't overeat or at least like as much and then get that like that sickly like, oh man, I ate so much and I'm so full, like I need somebody to pull me out of here in a wheelbarrow type of feeling. Uh,
I wish you. Speaking of which, too, Sam. Like I eat so fast. Everyone just yells. Sam yells at me all the time for it. But like, dude, even in like Mexico, I was like just crushing
yeah.
tacos. I was literally within 5 minutes, 5 tacos were just demolished. And she goes, Antoine, literally, I'm my first one still. Can you just slow down? I'm like, I can't control it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Taco Tuesday is one of those days.
Oh yeah, I just threw down like 8 tacos yesterday,
Yeah.
or no, 2 days. Oh yeah, yesterday we did it on Wednesday. So
Nice. We did fajita Wednesday yesterday.
fajitas. Oh dude, we had a lot of fajitas.
Nice.
Also,
Oh yeah.
I realized too that beef stew in Mexico is a lot different than an American beef stew. Like check it
Oh yeah.
out. They give
Oh,
you
okay.
like they give you pretty much like beef like in a sauce and
Yeah.
then like tortillas. It's like pretty much like
Oh wow.
fajitas. Yeah, so it's
Oh,
like
that's so interesting.
yeah, because I saw it on the menu and I'm like,
Yeah.
who eats soup? And it was like a breakfast menu too.
Yeah.
And I was like, who eats soup for breakfast? And then I looked at the description. It said like comes with corn or flour tortillas with like guacamole and beans on the side. And I'm like, huh? Sign me
Yeah.
up, baby.
Yeah. How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. It was
That
amazing.
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
really
like
cool.
yeah, and then like the other thing too about like when you're vacationing, unless you're buying like store bought products like full like natural like foods and like fruits and vegetables, like just like if you are recording, just like if you go out to eat or anything, record what you want to record, like eyeball everything. But the only thing too to look out to, because I just noticed from like competing in bodybuilding, try to make sure you realize that there might be a little bit more oil or butter compared to like the fat grams. Like maybe
Yeah.
if you are competing, maybe tell them to cook it with like spray instead of like the other cooking oils they use. Maybe they could do that. So like always ask. They're not going to say no. I mean, if not, they say no. But like most restaurants, if it's getting freshly prepared, like they'll have cooking spray. They'll cook it on a pan, and all this. I've worked in the restaurant industry, and I can only imagine what all-inclusive resorts do. I mean,
Yeah.
people with allergies have to get cooked with like cooking spray. Like,
Yeah.
that's something that's easy to ask, and all they could say is no, and then just order something else.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're like if you're dieting for a show, like you got to do what you got to do. But like I'd say if you're like Gen Pop and you're like general population and you are dieting, if you feel like you like let yourself go a little bit on vacation, remember it's vacation. Like you can forgive yourself for that. Vacation is meant to like enjoy. Now, like that also doesn't mean that like you go and you just like totally ruin your diet. Like if that's a goal and that's something that's like meaningful to you, then like stick to it. But like if
Yeah.
if like one of your rules is like I like don't eat dessert because I find like I tend to overeat on dessert. If you make a pact to yourself, like I want to try these desserts because like I've never been in a country before. This is my first time in like Mexico, let's say for example. I want to like have like a an authentic like oh I can't think of the name of it. It's like a cinnamon like pastry. It's like circular, but it's like hexagonal, and they like cover it in like cinnamon sugar. Oh my god, I can't think of the
I
name of
can't
it.
think of it.
Yeah, churro.
Oh,
If you want to have
churro.
like if you want to have like an authentic churro, then like dude, just go ahead and have an authentic like churro. Like just have one though with like a small side of like dipping sauce, you know, like you don't have to go overboard. But yeah, I think it's okay to like forgive yourself if you want to do something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's when it's important to recognize that like a rigid rule set may not yield like the best result from your vacation. Yeah, because you're there, you're meant to like to enjoy it. So it's okay to like be a little bit more flexible with your rules, as long as you know yourself and like you're also confident that like when you get back, like if your goal is to, let's say, like fat loss or something along those lines, that you get right back on that wagon. Yeah.
I thought it was hop off the wagon.
Hop on, hop off, whatever.
I thought you would have got it. It's a Seinfeld reference.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, I'll send you the link after this.
Right.
It's sorry to get off topic, but guys, thanks for watching episode 55 in the books. We're back at it. Follow us on every Instagram account, Roman Long 1031, Antoine Coletta. Everything will be spelled out in the description notes. We're on every audio and video platform. Oh, we didn't break the news.
We did not.
Wow. Didn't he? I almost edited this. Well, if you stayed to this lag, maybe I'll do a post. But yes, Sam and I officially are moving to Arizona.
Like 2
December.
weeks, right?
Yeah, Sunday after Thanksgiving, dude. So
Crazy.
when this episode comes out, that means we will have about like 8 or 9 days left.
Damn.
In Illinois.
That's insane. So you're moving on the 29th?
Yeah, so our moving date's the 1st.
Okay.
So we'll get there probably sooner than that Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably get there sooner. We'll leave like Sunday early.
Did you take a couple days off?
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll talk about that, but yeah, but pretty much like we're gonna be driving, and actually 2 of our friends are actually helping us. They're gonna fly back, like my buddy and his girlfriend. So yeah, man, we're excited to do it, guys. We're gonna be on the West Coast. No more Midwestern people anymore. So maybe Roman and I will have the same feels, and we could talk on the same stuff now, because I'll be eventually doing what he's doing right now. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.